If you have superannuation in Australia, and you probably do, there's a number you've never been shown. Not because it's hidden in fine print, not because it's complicated, but because a fund that holds your retirement money has no legal obligation to tell you. That number is $87,000. That's the estimated amount the average Australian worker will lose, not to bad investments, not to a market crash, but to management fees. Quietly, automatically, every single year. And the fund collecting those fees? They are counting on you never doing this maths. My name is not important. What matters is what I'm about to show you. Let me tell you what most Australians believe about their super. They believe it's being looked after. They believe someone is managing it well. They've seen the ads, the smiling retirees on the golf course, the branding that says member-owned or industry fund. They think, I don't need to touch it. It's fine. That belief is the most expensive financial mistake you can make. Here's the reality. Right now, there are 145 super funds operating in Australia. The fees charged by these funds range from 0.1% per year, all the way up to 2.3% per year. That might sound like a small difference. And that's exactly the problem. Because when you're talking about compounding interest over 30 years, a 1% fee difference doesn't cost you 1% more. It costs you 20 to 30% of your final balance. Let me show you what that actually looks like in dollars. So why is this happening? And why doesn't anyone tell you? The answer comes down to three things the super industry has quietly relied on for decades: complexity, inertia, and the word performance. Let's start with complexity. When you look at a super fund's fee structure, you're not looking at one fee. You're looking at least four. There's the investment fee, the administration fee, the indirect cost ratio, and then, often buried in the product disclosure statement, the performance fee. apra, the regulator that oversees Australian super funds, publishes data on all of these. But the way they publish it means the average person would need to read a 40-page document and then do their own maths to understand what they are actually paying. So most people don't. And the fund knows that. Now let's talk about inertia. When you start a new job in Australia, your employer usually defaults you into a fund. That fund might be fine, or it might be one of the underperformers. But because the money comes out before you ever see it, most people never revisit it. The ATO estimates that there are currently over 4.2 million duplicate or unnecessary super accounts in Australia. That means millions of people are paying fees on accounts they don't even remember opening. And then there's the word performance. This is where it gets interesting. Many high-fee funds justify their cost by claiming they deliver better returns. We charge more because we are actively managed. They say, our team of experts outperforms the index. Here's what the data actually shows. Over the past 10 years, fewer than 25% of actively managed Australian super funds have outperformed a comparable low-cost index option after fees. So you're paying more, and in 3 out of 4 cases, you're getting less. So what do you actually do about this? Here's the exact process. 4 steps. No financial advisor required. Step 1. Find out what you're actually paying. Go to moneysmart.gov.au/super. That's the government's own comparison tool. Type in your current fund. Look for the row labeled total fees and costs. This is a number that matters. It's all fees combined as a percentage of your balance. If that number is above 0.85%, you need to keep watching. Step 2. Compare it against the APRA benchmarks. APRA releases what they call the performance test results every year. Funds that fail this test are legally required to notify you. But passing the test doesn't mean a fund is cheap. It just means it cleared a minimum bar. Go to the APRA website, search Super Fund Performance Test, and find the most recent year's results. Look at the net investment return after fees column. Sort lowest to highest fees. You'll see a pattern very quickly. Step 3. Check the consolidation and switching process. If you have more than one super account, check the ATO's MyGov portal. There's a function under Super that shows every account linked to your tax file number. You may have funds from jobs you forgot about. Consolidating into one low-fee account is one of the highest return financial moves available to any Australian worker, and it costs you nothing to do it. Step 4. Know what to look for in a fund. When comparing funds, you're looking for 3 things. Total fee percentage below 0.5% if possible, a diversified index investment option, not just balanced, and consistent 7-year net returns in the top third of their category. Funds that currently score well on these metrics include Australian Ethical, Hostplus' Index Balanced Option, and Vanguard Super. I'm not affiliated with any of them. I'm telling you what the data says. I'll link to the comparison data in the description. Before you close this video, I want to leave you with one number. Not to scare you, to make this real. The average Australian worker is 38 years old. If that worker currently holds a retail super fund charging 1.5% in annual fees, and they switch today to a comparable fund charging 0.15%, over the next 27 years, the difference in their retirement balance is approximately $147,000. $147,000. That's not a market prediction. That's not a best-case scenario. That's compound math applied to the fee gap that already exists right now between what most Australians are paying and what they could be paying. Every year this doesn't change. That number grows. This channel exists because the Australian financial system is not designed to explain itself clearly. It's designed to be just complicated enough that most people give up and do nothing. This video is the first of many. Next week, we are going inside the 5 biggest super funds in Australia. We are pulling their APRA data, their fee schedules, and their 10-year performance numbers. I'll show you which ones are worth staying in and which ones you should have left years ago. If you want that video when it comes out, subscribe. And if this video helped you understand something that your super fund never explained, share it with one person who needs to hear it. The truth is free. The fees are not.